Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are back at it again with another Amberlynn read reaction. I am back with another voiceover because it's pretty late. I'm in my pajamas already and I don't feel like setting up a camera, so sorry. Sorry for not posting the last few days. I've been quite busy. I will also have a vlog up maybe in the next day or so of this past week. It's not the greatest, but there's some good stuff in it. So I hope you guys enjoy that when that ends up going up. I will be reacting to Amberlynn's latest vlog, which is, or I guess it's a response. It's called My Last Response to Beck. Does not capitalize Beck's name. Very interesting. Amberlynn also posted a few days ago. For some reason, my screen is like not... Can y'all see this? It's like not letting me... It's black, so I can't see the title. I watched the video before this on the Ankles channel. To be honest, she shows a huge portion of her live stream, which if I was a member and I was paying $9.99 for her membership only live streams, and then this bish was posting like the most juicy parts of it on her vlog, I'd be kind of pissed off, to be honest. But that's here nor there. It was essentially Amberlynn claiming that she's taking responsibility, but not taking responsibility, and saying that Beck is like exaggerating things and lying about things, which no one believes. Amberlynn is just, she's getting called out for all her shit, and her only way for her to like get herself out of a corner is to just claim that the person is lying. It's her really only tactic, and it's worn out at this point. Amberlynn, people don't believe you, people don't like you, people don't believe you. That's the audience that you've cultivated. That is the response that you've cultivated through the over a decade of you lying when there's evidence in people's faces. Yeah. Also, we've had a lot of discussion within the community about the Choosy game, which is great. I think I said this in my last reaction, but she played this with Crystal with earrings. She actually recorded it. I believe the channel called Jordy's Curved Thumb, I believe, posted a video showing that. So check that out. But yeah, this is how we know Beck is not lying. One, because like, why would Beck lie about that? That is like so, like, who can come up with that? It's like so weird that I don't think that's like a lie someone could just randomly come up with. Along with the fact that Amberlynn would make Beck like pretend to take lint off her back, which is so psychotic, like truly so psychotic. But also because we have video evidence of you doing this with another girlfriend. So like, Amber, you're a psycho. You're a PDF and you're just a straight up psycho. So that's kind of crazy. But that's enough for the introduction. Let's get into it. It's 10 minutes long. So let's see what our Ambi girl has to say.
Hello. So,
hi.
Welcome to a new video. It's actually February 7th. At 3 a.m. in the morning.
What?
Yes, I should be asleep,
Okay.
But here I am awake, filming a video. I was actually getting ready to get comfy and try to sleep. My sleeping hasn't been the greatest. I've just been having a lot of anxiety, and when I have a lot...
Amber, it's literally never been good. You have been on YouTube for 11 years, and for 11 years, you have talked to us about your sleep not being good, about how you don't have a normal sleep schedule, how you're going to try to fix your sleep schedule. No one gives a fuck anymore.
I have anxiety. I go to sleep really late, and I genuinely hate it. Something I've suffered with majority of my life.
I've suffered, you guys. I suffer from all these ailments. I suffer. Amber, your suffering is all due to your own actions, okay? So may I suggest, like I said before, pop a melatonin, drink some tea, and try to go to bed at a reasonable hour. The reason that you can't do that ain't because of your anxiety. It's because you don't do shit with your day. So you're not expelling any energy. You like, obviously, it's not rocket science.
I slept and waited till tomorrow to film this, but I think it's just so heavy that like I have to do it now so I can just be completely done with it. I watched Beck's new video that they posted tonight or today or whenever, but it was a new one. So that video genuinely shocked me, and the
reason it shocked Amby is because Amberlynn, I truly believe, thought that she had full power over Beck, that she had created a relationship with Beck that made it so that Beck was scared of her, would not say anything bad about Amberlynn, because again, we saw for 4 years Amberlynn absolutely abused the crap out of Beck and manipulate them, emotionally like degrade them to the point that they thought that they were in love, thought that they owed something to Amberlynn, was like loyal in a very survival tactic kind of way. And I think it's shocking Amberlynn to see Beck, I think the one girlfriend that she believed would never speaking out and having a voice for themselves, which I think most people are very happy that Beck has found their voice and is sharing their story. And honestly, also, I think it's because Beck is being relatively tame in what they are saying about that relationship, and it still paints Amberlynn in a very disgusting light. And yeah, I think, of course, that shocks Amberlynn. I don't think Amberlynn ever saw this day coming. And it's, of course, also piling on everything that is coming out with the PDF situation going on her channel. So, yeah, I'm not surprised, Amber. Be shocked. No one cares.
Me feel stupid and dumb, and it made me realize that, like, the way that I viewed our relationship was completely wrong. And
well, Amber, how exactly did you view it? You really are failing to remember that you documented your abuse to this human. You literally documented their abuse for 4 years straight. And we saw the abuse happening from Eric's videos. Like, girl, what? We've been saying this the entire relationship when it was happening, that this does not look like a healthy relationship, that you are abusing them, that like Beck needs to get out. So I truly, if this is surprising to you, it's purely from your own delusions, which is a you problem, not an anyone else problem, which is why you need help, okay? You need like more than therapy at this point. Because truly, you are not in this reality. You are not in the reality that everyone else is living in. And it's very clear, every breakup, because every breakup takes Amberlynn out for a surprise, which, like, to everyone else, people clock that shit, like, weeks or months before it happens, that the girlfriends are checked out. But also the fact that, like, you said this, I think, about Destiny as well, that like, oh, the relationship that you thought you had wasn't real. And it's like, well, yeah, everyone else noticed that but you. So like, it's really a you problem.
Oblivious to a lot of things, even to the extent of the way that I treated them. So I want to be accountable in that. But this is just the example that I saw in their newest video, where it made me look back and be like, yeah, like we both actually viewed this relationship completely different. So,
but Amber, okay, you stating that you are taking accountability is not you taking accountability. You saying the words accountability isn't accountability, Amber. And I hope you talk about that with your therapist. Because if this is going to be a 10-minute video of you saying, yeah, I did bad things, but so did Beck, that's not taking accountability. It should only be about your actions towards them. And I have a feeling that that's not what this video is about to be. It's about to be a poor Amberlynn, I'm so sick, I have BPD, I don't even notice that I'm doing these bad things. They did bad things to me too. It's a two-way street, blah, 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 blah. And that, my friend, is not accountability. But let's see.
In their new video, they were reacting to a compilation video.
I will say, no praise to Amberlynn because this is basic, but at least she's finally using their proper pronouns and their proper name. Like, at least she's doing not even the bare minimum.
Of me being rude to them for 10 minutes straight. And in the reaction...
Did I watch that? I forgot. Wait, let's see. Let's see, y'all. No, I don't think I reacted to that. I don't know if I've watched that. Interesting.
Beck stated multiple times that it's obvious that they didn't want to be on camera. And they said...
Oh, I did watch this. Yeah, okay, I'll let her finish, but I have thoughts on this.
Oh, look at me zoning out while she's talking. And it's like, both of those things, like, genuinely hurt, and it made...
Amber... It was obvious to the audience. The audience was saying this, again, at the time of the relationship. Yeah, Beck looks checked out. They don't look like they want to be there. They made it pretty clear they don't want to be on camera. So if that's, again, coming as a surprise, that's because you're so self-indulged. How do you say that? Like, you're so absorbed with yourself that you don't recognize the room. You don't recognize other people's feelings, other people's body language. And it's funny because you constantly call yourself an empath, but you really have no awareness of other people. You really don't you don't see the shade that other people are throwing at you. You don't see when people are uncomfortable around you or don't like you. You really don't see that because you're so consumed by yourself and what you're doing and what you're thinking, and it doesn't extend outwardly. It's really bizarre.
I realized I didn't even notice these things. Just like how when I was in a relationship with them, I didn't notice how mean or rude I could come off until looking back, and I just feel super remorseful.
But I really don't believe that. I think what she feels remorseful about is the fact that it's caught on camera. The fact that it is so documented that there is no way for her to spin this into a narrative of oh, well, you guys aren't seeing the full picture. You were showing us everything at this point. Everything. Because you were making a shit ton of money. So you were videotaping every single part of your life, every aspect of it. She might say that that's not the case now, but she was even saying that in her videos then. We were seeing pretty much her entire day, every day of that relationship. And I think she feels remorseful that she did that she showed that, and that she can't hide behind anything in this circumstance. And the fact that Beck is no longer staying silent on these things and confirming what people had been saying for years about this relationship.
I viewed our whole relationship a certain way that it wasn't. I genuinely thought that they wanted to be on camera and that they were okay with being on camera. And I was so accustomed.
That just can't possibly be true, because there is so many video clips of Beck saying she doesn't want to be on camera. Sorry, they don't want to be on camera, or that they look bad, indicating that hey, please don't videotape me. People don't say that to like continue to like say that they still want to be on camera. It's a way of like saying they don't want to be videotaped or they don't want to be quote unquote seen in a overt way, you know? But again, Amberlynn is so like self-consumed that she didn't care. She didn't try to read between the lines. She didn't try to be respectful of her partner. It was Amber's world, and everyone else just lives in that, you know? It doesn't matter what other people want. And she made it super clear, especially in the Crystal era, the Destiny era, and the Beck era.
To them zoning out or seeming like they didn't want to be on.
Why are you air quoting? You don't get to air quote what somebody is saying. Beck said they don't want to be on camera. That's not an air quote. Beck said that they were zoning out. That's not an air quote. That's just a fact, Amber. Just because you didn't realize it, again, everyone else realized it. So I'm really not understanding what the air quotes are doing right now. I don't know if she doesn't know what air quotes are used as, but this is not the proper way to be using them.
Camera, that was normal for me. But I didn't know that the zoning out and the look on their face, et cetera, was like an indication that they weren't listening to me or...
Yeah, because again, you didn't care about them. And you made that very obvious. You did not care about them. Partners can usually tell their partner's body language and how they're feeling based off of that, and can usually act accordingly. Amber, you weren't able to do that because you didn't care to try to read Beck's body language. It, again, was all about what Amber wanted to do, what Amber wanted to post and record and show. Did it matter?
That they didn't want to be on camera, like that is like news to me. So knowing that like I viewed our relationship one way and it wasn't, like I genuinely look stupid, but I guess like maybe I low-key deserve it. Realizing that we both viewed this relationship so differently actually makes it easier for me to be accountable and to apologize, because if that's the way that they truly viewed it, like I deeply apologize for that. And
again, it's not coming off as sincere. It's coming off as Amberlynn trying to mitigate the repercussions of Beck exposing Amberlynn for the trash human and trash girlfriend that Amberlynn Reed is. Amberlynn right now's name is being dragged through the mud in multiple different avenues. And this is one of the places where Amberlynn thinks that she can try and lessen the blow. But again, it's not going to work, and it doesn't come off as sincere.
There's nothing I can do to change their opinions and their thoughts and their experience, because that's what they lived. I wasn't the greatest girlfriend. I wasn't the most perfect girlfriend, but I will say I'm not all good.
No, Amber, it's not about being the greatest and most perfect girlfriend. No one, I think, would ever claim to be the perfect partner in any relationship. And we've all done shitty things in relationships. The problem with you is that you were trash. You were an abuser. You were just disgusting towards the person that was quite literally taking care of you. And you showed them zero respect throughout the entire relationship. You abused them. You made fun of them constantly. You just did horrendous things, both on camera and we're finding out off camera. You weren't a good person. It's like, it has nothing to do with, oh, well, I guess I'm just not perfect. No, that is a classic narcissist and abuser tactic of saying, oh, well, I guess I just wasn't perfect, whatever. No one is ever claiming that a person is perfect in any situation. You were bad. Just that's it. Like, you were the bad outweighed the good in that relationship. And that is the issue.
And I'm not all bad. And I wasn't that way then either. Like, our relationship was definitely complex. And even though it might not be visible to the public or even to Beck in this moment, I have taken accountability for the things that I've done.
No, you haven't, Amber. You haven't. Because you continue to drag Beck's name through the mud. You were talking shit about them only a few weeks ago. And the only reason that you keep using the word accountability is because Beck is no longer staying silent. Beck is no longer laying down and taking your abuse. They are standing up for themselves. They're telling their side of the story, because for a very long time, it was Amberlynn's side of the story, and everybody else better shut their mouth if they have anything else to say. And if they don't shut their mouth, they're going to be called a liar. They're going to be told that they were so abusive. I mean, Amberlynn just a few weeks ago was saying, you wouldn't believe the things Beck put me through. It's just like, she said that too with Destiny. And Destiny rolled her eyes, because it's like, girl, what was Beck putting you through? You were in complete control of that relationship. So I don't like this, that she's constantly saying, I'm taking accountability, I'm taking accountability. Saying the words does not equal taking accountability. It is the actions that resemble taking accountability. And your actions so far have not proven that you really understand the severity of what you put Beck through and the severity of your actions during that relationship.
In the video, they even stated, like, I don't want you to reach out to me. And that's very much why I haven't, because I wanted to respect those boundaries.
Good.
But they said, I don't want an apology from you. I genuinely feel like Beck deserves an apology for the wrongdoings that I did.
No, they don't want an apology from you because they know who you are as a person. They know that the words that come out of your mouth aren't real. They are a way of manipulating your audience. That's who this is for right now. This is not for Beck. And Beck knows that. That's why it's empty words at this point. Like, a person who's been abused, they don't care what their abuser has to say once they get out of that situation, because it's all a tactic to them. It's all a game to the abuser. And once a person has gotten themselves away from that abuse and that narcissism and that manipulation, it's like, okay, bye. Like, you don't matter anymore. You have no control over that person anymore. And that's why Beck is saying that, you know?
But if they don't want to accept it or hear it, then I have to be okay with that. I'm not going to apologize to the internet. The apology wasn't for you guys. It was for them. I feel like in this situation, like, this type of accountability should be handled in private, just like the apology should.
Right. So then I don't understand what this video is about. If you really believe that, Amberlynn, we wouldn't be seeing this video right now. But again, this is a way for you to manipulate your audience, for you to present yourself as this good person that just had no idea that what they were doing was horrendous, even though you were being called out for your actions at the time of the abuse, and you gaslit everyone, including your partner. So I don't understand, like, what this is about at this point.
And the sort of discussion that is, like, happening between back and forth with us, these things should be happening in private.
No, Amber, no. Because if you can sit there and monetize your abuse towards your partner for 4 years and not give them a cent, then they are allowed to sit there in public and tell their story. Because for 4+ years, you silenced them. You love to talk about being silenced. You silenced Beck. You made every possible decision to degrade and to make it so that Beck's voice was not heard or was not taken seriously. So it's only convenient, and you only want to do things in private once you finally get called out for your actions, once you finally get exposed for the shitty behavior and the shitty person that you are. That's when suddenly you want to do things through behind closed doors. But you don't get it both ways, Amber. You decide to put something out in full public display, then you should understand that those repercussions are also allowed to be shown on full public display.
Personal matters like this are brought onto, like, a public platform. I feel like
because you put them initially on the public platform, because we can go back on your channel and watch the abuse that Beck went through. So don't try to make it seem that, like, this is coming out of nowhere and that it's so weird that Beck would put this in public when you're the one that pushed them into the public. You're the one that forced them on to YouTube in a very personal way for 4 years. That's you, Amber.
Backed up in a corner, like I have to defend myself or I have to say something. But it's like, I'm not going to sit here and go through.
You don't actually, Amber, because there's nothing you can say. We already see it. Like this really, while it is about you because it's about you in the relationship with Beck, at this point, what Beck is sharing really isn't about you at the same time. At the end of the day, there's no need for you to be speaking about this. You know, like this is Beck sharing their story and there's really no need for you to respond. You know, like you're again centering Beck's story around yourself again.
Every single thing that they said, like every single claim, every single this or that, because that is just going to fuel negativity. I truly don't feel like the back and forth is productive for either of us. But
they're not doing a back and forth. Again, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but they're just sharing their story. It's you that's deciding to do a quote unquote back and forth, right? That's how quotes, air quotes are used, by the way, Amberlynn. When, not based on a fact. It's based on like you deciding to insert yourself someplace that like really you shouldn't be inserting yourself into.
I truly feel like sharing their story is what is going to help them in the long run. Then go for it.
She did the same thing with Destiny of like, well, I don't understand how you sharing your story is going to help you heal. It's not up to you what is going to help a person. And to be honest, it makes a lot of sense that Beck using their voice and sharing their point of view in a relationship where their voice was pretty much cut off would help them heal. Absolutely. I firmly believe that regaining a voice after you've been with a narcissist and with an abuser is a huge part of healing, a very huge part of healing.
I have to genuinely step away. Like I said,
so then
I wasn't
do that.
going to speak about them, and that was standing. But like hearing all of these things being said, it's been hard for me because it's like I have shown growth.
But Amber, you haven't shown growth. That is the craziest part. You have not grown in 10 plus years. The same things that you were doing with Crystal in the very beginning of your YouTube, you did with Beck. And the same things that you did with Beck, you did with other girlfriends. You have a pattern in every relationship. The only difference with your latest relationships has been that you haven't had them on camera. And that is because your partners, I'm sure, told you, you put me on camera and we're done. There was an ultimatum there for you. You didn't have control over them like you did with Beck and with your other girlfriends. But that wasn't because you grew. That was because there was a relationship at stake.
In my personal life, and it's hard to like show growth publicly when these are things that like was happening behind the scenes. So publicly,
but the thing is, the abuse was not behind the scenes. Were there abusive things happening behind the scenes that we didn't see? Absolutely. But the abuse was front and stage. It was clear as day what was going on, and everyone saw it while it was happening.
I might look the same to you guys, but I have changed a lot. I am always open for growth and for changing to be a better person every single day. And I want to reflect on the past more because that actually genuinely helps me see ways that I need to improve and ways that I already have improved. And I just want to say that anytime that I had Beck on my channel, it was never out of malice. I never meant to disrespect them. And I really...
So this again is lacking accountability, right? You can say I'm taking accountability, but this right here is lacking accountability. Saying, well, I didn't mean to do it. I had no intention of doing this. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly how you were showing them on your channel. You knew exactly the way that you were speaking to them, the way that you treated them, and you didn't care. You didn't care how it felt for them. You didn't care how it looked to the audience, the way that you treated them. So you're not taking accountability. Just because you say the word accountability doesn't mean you're taking accountability.
I really, really did love them. This might be a little tea.
That in itself is so manipulative. I have the same thing happens with the person that I have a narcissistic relationship with. It's manipulative. Anytime that you call out their narcissistic or abusive behavior, it's always, well, I didn't intend for that and I love you. Okay, well, if you truly loved a person, then you would show them respect. You would try and, follow the boundaries that they're setting, right? And one of the ways you could have done that with Beck is by not posting this video, because this video is a lot of nothing. So you don't love them. You're trying to present yourself as a good person who's just unaware. But during the time of Beck, you were in your late 20s. I believe she turned 30 with Beck. So you weren't a kid. You weren't just this naive young woman. You were a full-grown adult who knew exactly what you were doing, and you chose to do it anyways.
Because no one knows, but when Beck and I were just friends while I was with Feline, and Feline did know this, don't worry. One night I got really, really drunk, and I told Beck, I really was in love with you, and I still love you, you're a great person, and I hyped them up because genuinely...
And I hyped them up, and I think that should, dissolve all of my responsibility for my full abuse of you, because I hyped them up on a night that I was drunk. Amber, this doesn't mean anything. This truly doesn't mean anything. I think, first off, you didn't love Beck. Again, you can tell when a person loves another person because they respect that person. You didn't respect Beck. You can't love someone and not respect them. Those two things cannot go together. And you claiming that you hyped them up and said how much you love them when you were drunk is just, it's stupid. It's not reading the way that you think it's reading. It's giving desperate. I'm guessing that Feline wouldn't do a lot of the things that Beck did for you. And I'm sure that there's a lot of things that you loved about Beck that they did for you. I don't think you loved Beck as a person. I think you loved the things that Beck did for you. I think you liked that Beck at the time had very low self-esteem and let you walk all over them, and you could make them do whatever you wanted, and they really had no way out at the time. They felt like they had no way out, and it led to their imprisonment by you. I think that's what you loved and what you mourned and have mourned with your other girlfriends.
I owe so much to them, and...
But at the same time, when Beck broke up with you, you were very quick to blame them for your cancer and then try to pedal back and say, no, I didn't mean to blame them. That's not what I'm saying. But you sat there insinuating that if it were Feline, you wouldn't have had cancer or you would have gotten it checked way earlier, even though Beck and Eric and a bunch of other people in your life were telling you to go to the doctor to get help. There's clearly something wrong, and you refused. Okay, so spare us with and spare Beck with I owe them so much. They don't want this. And again, if you really did care about them, you wouldn't be doing this shit right now.
I have so much gratitude to them. They were there for me during some of the hardest moments of my life, i.e. when I was diagnosed with cancer.
I.e., right. But the cancer that you went on to later blame them for. Okay, Amber. Okay.
But I have never tried to show them in a certain way. Nothing was ever out of malice from the bottom of my heart. And I just really needed to make that clear. Like, honestly, all I can really do is just continue working on myself. My focus moving forward is to just ignore it all. Like, I wanted to take what Beck is doing and put it in like a positive way and put a positive spin to it and like be like, yeah, I am accountable. But at the same time, obviously, like, I do find frustrations in the ways that I feel like they are exaggerating or they have lied. I do firmly believe that two things.
Okay, Amber. First off, again, like I said, this is just the oldest tactic in Amberlynn's manipulation book. But if you really believe that, tell us what they're exaggerating on. They haven't really said anything that crazy. They haven't they're telling very simple things within the relationship. They don't even really go into extreme detail on things. So what could they be exaggerating on? Truly, Amber. This is, again, you trying to spin it as you're such a good guy, you're taking accountability, but then you're still at the same time trying to tarnish their name and their reputation and tarnish any trust that the audience might have with Beck, which is not going to work, obviously, but that's what this is all about. It's about Amberlynn once again presenting herself as this good person that someone once again is coming out and just, exaggerating Amberlynn because she's easy to hate. No, Amber, these aren't crazy things. And these are, once again, patterns we have seen in every relationship that you have posted on your YouTube.
Can happen at once. I can be accountable, but I can also be frustrated. But I'm not accountable and frustrated about the same things. Like everyone likes to say, there are 3 sides to every story. Their side, my side, the truth. And a really good example.
But Amber, this is the thing. It's not she said, they said. It's we see the videos. We watch the videos for 4 fucking years, Amber. For 4 years, we watched everything that was going on. And everything that Beck is saying right now falls in line with the literal video evidence we have of that relationship. So you, once again, look dumb. You look dumb in this situation. And it would have been way better for you to just not have made this video at all.
People viewing things differently, kind of what's going on with Blake and Justin. Blake feels like one thing happened, while Justin's no.
Amber, you are not some celebrity, okay? That's on whatever. You're not some celebrity. Stop trying to play yourself as you're Blake and whatever, okay? I don't know what's happening with Blake and Justin or whatever. I don't fucking like Blake Lively. The bitch had, the both of them, they had a freaking wedding on a plantation. So I could give a fuck about those two. They're vile to me. I didn't like her to begin with. We already know she's a complete piece of shit to everyone in real life. So yeah, I really don't care, and I don't understand why you're trying to draw parallels in a situation that truly has nothing to do with each other, okay? It's weird.
Not what happened. So you know what? I can't even sit here and firmly be like, okay, Beck is lying, because if they viewed it that way, then I have to accept that for what it is, because what's true to someone and the way that they view something might not be true to everyone else in the room. I want to play devil's advocate here for a second. If I'm remembering something wrong that Beck genuinely remembers as a full truth, then that's fair as well, because I have really bad memory problems.
I have a really bad memory problems, you guys. So if I don't take accountability for the abuse that I did, it's just because I have a bad memory, okay? It's not my fault. It's my memory. My memory is crazy, y'all. It's not my fault. It's this other entity, right? Now we're going to call Beck a liar, but in the same breath, try to place the responsibility onto some other thing, her memory now, right? Because this is the reality. Beck's not lying, and Amberlynn knows that. So it's like she's trying to create all these avenues of a way out from the mess that she created herself, It's quite bizarre. She's very much caught in a corner, and we're watching a cat in a corner trying to claw their way out of this corner, but it's just not working.
Due to moments of high stress, trauma, BPD, when I have
anxiety. You guys, it's because I have BPD and trauma. So I don't remember that I abused this person. So I can't take accountability for it. So sorry, I can't do anything about it. This is wild. There are many people that I know personally, including myself, that have a lot of trauma and they've never abused their partners. And when they've done shitty things, including myself in a relationship, they know full well that they did it and they're able to take accountability at the time of it being done. Because it doesn't take much self-reflection to notice when you're being a shit person to another person. It really doesn't take much accountability or much awareness, self-awareness. But Amber lacks that. So she's going to do everything she can to place it onto every other excuse other than the fact that it's Amberlynn and that's who she is as a person. And if you truly wanted to get better, you'd accept that right now you're an abuser and you were an abuser for a lot of your relationships, if not all of them. And that's just you. It has nothing to do with your BPD. It has nothing to do with trauma. It has nothing to do with anxiety. You are an abusive person. And if you truly want to get better, you'll accept that that's who you are as a person right now. Doesn't mean you have to be that for the rest of your life. You can get better. You can improve yourself by first accepting that that's who you are right now. But Amberlynn will never do that, which is why she'll never get better. You know, it's like in Alcohol Anonymous, when like the first step in recovery is admitting that you have a problem, right? You can't get better until you admit that right now you're an alcoholic, right? Until you accept that fact about yourself, you can't not be an alcoholic, or else you'll continue to create excuses and reasons as to why you do the actions that you do.
Sometimes I'll literally black out because I'm so anxious. I just want to say, whether my apology was behind a paywall, whether it was in a Snapchat, whether it's in a YouTube video, or whether I say it to Beck directly, it is 100% sincere. And I have...
It can't be though, Amber, because putting an apology behind a paywall, there's no sincerity behind that, right? If you truly felt like you had to apologize, you would apologize to the person, you could send a text, and fully accept the fact that they may never respond to you again. You don't have to do all of this. You don't have to paint yourself as the poor victim of mental health and trauma, and that's the reason for all of the behavior that you've done towards them. If you really wanted to give a sincere apology, you would do it to them and be fine with that and move on. But it's not about apologizing to them. It's not about being remorseful to them. It's about preserving this idea, this perception of yourself that you have and no one else has of you. This perception that you think you are a good person, and in reality, your behavior has shown us for over a decade that you're not. You're not a good person, which again, doesn't mean you always have to be a shit person. People go through times where they're shit, okay? It's about moving forward and genuinely working on yourself and accepting that you are a bad person in this moment. But again, Amberlynn will never do that. And that's why people don't fuck with her anymore. Well, on top of the PDF stuff and just like the dead naming of her partners and the severe transphobic remarks and things she's done. I mean, a lot of things. People don't like her. But one of the reasons is because she'll never admit that she's not a good person in this moment.
Just to them personally, but that was years ago after our breakup. Beck and I was friends for about a...
Beck and I was friends. Y'all, what IQ of 140. Albert Einstein could literally fucking never. Marie Curie, like, who is she, you know? Amberlynn Reed out here having fucking genius IQ, but using the worst grammar possible for the language for the one language that she speaks. Crazy.
Year after we broke up. And
right, because detaching yourself from a narcissistic relationship and from an abusive relationship takes quite a while. And honestly, for a really long time, Beck told us that they couldn't see what was going on. It took them a long time to be able to see the relationship for what it was. Because when you get stuck in that, it's like being in the eye of the tornado, you know? Like, you're not seeing the big picture in it because you're in this survival state. And Amberlynn does this with most of her relationships, where she keeps her exes very close and quote unquote as friends. They're not really her friends, but as a way to like mitigate the responses that are about to happen, mitigate any disaster that will happen after the relationship, right? She thinks that if she can keep them under her thumb, that she'll never be exposed. And this is something she's done with the most of her relationships. So you might think that you were friends, but Beck got out of that house and that relationship real quick because they really didn't want to have a relationship with you, you know?
That didn't work out, which I understand, but I did apologize to them. I don't think that I took as much.
But you know what? Sometimes you have to apologize a few times. And if it's sincere, you don't mind doing that, because sometimes people don't realize that they were hurt by you or the extent of that hurt for a really long time. And if that person requires apologies multiple times, I think that's okay. And I think if you really care about them, you're okay with giving that to them because you care about them and you want to genuinely have a good relationship with them. You apologizing once doesn't take away the almost half a decade of abuse that you put them through, publicly, that you put them through. So you saying that you apologize to them after you broke up and you were friends for a year, it doesn't mean anything, Amberlynn, because clearly it didn't feel genuine to Beck. So that apology doesn't mean anything, in my opinion.
Ability as I do take now, because like I said, every day I like to reflect and just grow into a better person. So I'm not going to sit here and list off every single claim that they said and write down like, okay, guys, these are the things that are true and these are the things that...
Right, you're not going to do that because you don't really have any leg to stand on with that. There is nothing for you to really say based on that. And I think if you did that, Beck would have receipts. So it's safer for you to just put out the blanket statement that, oh, well, they're lying and exaggerating some things, and that's that, because that keeps you safe from them being able to say, well, actually, here's this proof of this, here's this proof that you did that, here's this proof that I'm not exaggerating on that, and you don't want that.
These are the things that I'm accountable for. Like, there's no productivity in that, because whether the internet knows...
There's no productivity in that. Like, it just sounds like she, again, went to TikTok therapy and she's using buzzwords. If you really listen to this video, and sorry I'm pausing a lot, but if you really listen to this video, she's saying the same few lines over and over. She's not really saying anything. And it's obvious. Her words are empty. There's no meaning behind them. They're devoid of any real emotion or any real information. It's buzzwords to make herself seem as though she's grown when in actuality no change has occurred with Amberlynn.
What I'm accountable for versus what I'm
also not. Thank God that we are not dependent on Amberlynn for evolution as a species, because we would still be living in caves figuring out what fire is. Like, there is just no growth with this human being.
Accountable for, that doesn't bother me. The only person that I'm worried about and them actually hearing me is Beck. And if they don't want to, that's their prerogative. I'm okay with that.
Whoa, that's a prerogative. Wow, that's a big word, Ambi. That's a big word. Did you get that in your audiobook? Which book you listened to lately?
I want them to do whatever helps them. I'm not apologizing for myself. I'm apologizing to the person that I...
You are, though. Because, again, you're putting this on YouTube to make money. And if you really cared, you'd send them a video or a voice note or a text. And that would be that. It would be between you and them. And you would be okay with the fact that they may never respond to that. Which I don't think they would. But if you truly wanted to apologize to them, that's how you would go about it. You wouldn't be making a video to monetize and put up on YouTube. That's just not how it works, Amber.
I was in a relationship with for almost 5 years. And I hurt them, and I'm sorry for that. I really want to continue taking that experience and that relationship and learning from it. That can say absolutely anything from this point forward, and I am not going to respond. I genuinely wish them nothing but the best. And the apology...
And you know what? They are doing way, way better. They have what seems like a great girlfriend, a partner that actually respects and loves them. We've seen Beck completely change as a human in the way that they speak and the confidence level. And I can almost promise that, yes, that's due to them healing on their own, but also due to like them being surrounded by people that build them up and don't tear them down like you did for almost a half a decade. So yeah, your wishes, I don't think Beck really cares about.
I need to give to you guys. If I hurt any of you during this whole thing because you guys care for Beck, then I'm also sorry for that. I'm a very flawed individual. That is not an excuse, but I'm a flawed individual that can learn from this experience. And thankfully,
unfortunately, I don't think you have. I know that people still speculate that her and Emily are still together. I don't think they are. And I can almost guarantee that a huge part of them breaking up, or I'll say Emily breaking up with Amberlynn, is because of abusive things that she did with her. I can almost guarantee it. Because at the end of the day, Emily was there for Amberlynn's size. She's a fetish to Emily. And it became unbearable for her to even have, like, be with her fetish. You know, like, there's underlying things going on there. It's you as a person, Amber. It doesn't seem that you've grown. And we've seen this with Jade, when Jade finally broke up with you. We saw this with you being a homewrecker with Erica and Erica breaking up with you. We see this now with Emily and Emily breaking up with you. I mean, it doesn't seem like you've grown at all. It seems that it, at the end of the day, always comes back to you and the person that you are to your partners. And again, you could grow from that and you could learn from that if you would actually reconcile with the fact that you are not a good person and you are not a good person to the partners in your life or to the people in your life. Like, you do the same thing with your mom now. You're insanely rude to your mom. You're disrespectful to your mom. And you sit there and tell us, well, we don't understand the relationship that you two have together. But that's the same excuse you gave with the way that you spoke and talked to and about Beck when you were in a relationship with them. You'd say, oh, well, you don't understand. Like, we're snarky with each other. That's how I am with my friends. No, Amber, that's not how people are with the people that they love in their life. They aren't disrespectful and rude and malicious towards them. You are. And I guarantee you that a few years down the line, when her mom inevitably cuts contact with her because it's not a good relationship and it's not productive for her mother, that we're going to get a similar video until, oh, now I realize that the way that I look and the way that I'm portrayed and how it looks to the audience of how I spoke with my mom. Because you will only see and quote unquote take accountability about something when you are so overtly called out for it. When there is nothing else that you can say or no excuse that you can say about it. That's when you'll feign accountability. And that's what we're seeing right now with you and this Beck response.
Whether people see it or believe it, I know it because I am my own person and I know how I've been in past relationships. And as I've gotten older and more mature, and I've learned...
But you haven't gotten more mature, Amber. You sit here and act like a middle schooler. You dress like a middle schooler. You talk like a middle schooler. Actually, I would even say that. I think most middle schoolers are more mature and have a better grasp of the English language than you do. And also, schoolers wouldn't freaking dress like you. But you're not mature. You have a very low level, age level when it comes to your mentality. And it's very obvious. It is so obvious, Amberlynn. You have not matured at all. You do not act like a woman who's in her 30s, let alone a woman who's in her 20s, to be honest. You act like a child, a spoiled brat of a child.
More about my BPD and just who I am as a person. I have become a better person. And I have become...
How have you learned about your BPD when you've gotten zero help from it, Amber? You haven't gotten any help, and you haven't been in therapy long enough to really have learned anything about BPD. Learning about BPD on TikTok is not helping yourself. It may enlighten you to certain traits that you exhibit, but it's not helping you. It's just giving you more language to excuse your behavior. That's all it's doing. I'm really confused by that.
A better girlfriend. I've become a better friend. I've become a better pet parent.
Amber, first off, you've become a better pet parent. You lost Rarity. You literally lost Rarity in the middle of winter in, Mid-America, in Wisconsin, which is one of the coldest places in the United States during winter. And you lost your cat. I can almost guarantee Rarity is not alive. Unless someone found her in the first few days, Rarity is not alive. You lost your cat, dude, for a feeder girlfriend. You haven't become a better pet parent. I'm sorry, you haven't. You don't have friends, so I don't know how you would know that you are a better friend. And the relationships that you do have are crumbling around you. So I again, this is due to Amberlynn's lack of self-awareness. I don't know where she really thinks that she's grown, because it's really not showing.
I've become a better daughter. I've become a better sister, but I'm still flawed. I'm super complex and nuanced, just like we all are. And this just has to be...
But Amber, I don't think you are that complex and nuanced. I think you're actually quite one-dimensional. You again, have the same remarks for every single time you're called about something. You really have not changed the way you look at life, the way you interact with people. I mean, it's copy and paste from years and years ago. There is no change. You can see when someone is evolving as a human being. You haven't evolved. It's obvious. I mean, this could be a video from 2015, 2016. Truly, it could be the same video, and we wouldn't know other than the camera quality. That's really it.
The last time that I speak about this to protect my peace, and I hope that Beck does.
I'm so tired of her saying protecting her peace. If you really want to protect your peace, Amber, you shouldn't have posted this.
That also protects theirs. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you for not giving us a kiss, because I don't really appreciate that. Well, y'all, that was some bullshit, to be honest. She posted this 4 hours ago. She has 419 likes, so that's interesting. I want to take a look. 1 minute. I want to take a look at the comments.
Hello.
Okay. Let's see. Saying I want to be accountable. Oh, I hate that I can't put. Okay, whatever. Y'all, I'm struggling. Okay, saying I want to take accountability and my focus moving forward is to ignore it all is the same in the same sentence is insane. Yeah. I apologize for the way they view the relationship. Yep, sounds like a genuine apology to me. Give her the money she worked hard for. If not, then I hope she will continue to spill it all. Girl, you are not the Justin Baldani of this story. I don't really understand that whole situation. I don't really care. Address the choosy game. I want her to address the lint. Y'all, I think that's even crazy. Honestly, no, they're both crazy. But I think we should be talking about the fact that Amberlynn made Beck pretend to take lint off her back for 45 minutes. That's fucking insanity, y'all. That's like psychotic mind games at that point. You didn't notice these things because you were self-absorbed. BT Dub saying sorry if you felt that way is not an apology. Yeah. You managed to make an entire 10-minute monologue about your own feelings while apologizing to someone you abused for years. The mental gymnastics would be impressive if it wasn't so transparent. It's also, I've changed, I've grown, I'm different now. I'm taking accountability, but also I'm the real victim here. Imagine having the audacity to play poor me card while responding to someone you abused. Grotesque. Absolutely my thoughts. The smug smile on your face while saying all of this, absolutely insane. You literally make everything about you. It's so hard for me. I viewed our relationships differently. I hyped them up. I've grown so much. Making an attempt to apologize and then portraying yourself as a victim is not taking accountability. Exactly. This is all like, feel bad for me. I'm so traumatized. I have BPD. It's not my fault. Blah, blah, blah. There's zero accountability in this video. I want to be accountable. What's stopping you, girl? Well, this was a clusterfuck of gaslight. Yep. I'm always open for growth. Girl, we know. Just not the growth that you should be. Oh, no. Not the growth. Ugh, y'all. Ugh, the statement's ruined. But you know what I mean. Me. That's what I heard. Saying you're taking accountability doesn't actually mean you're taking accountability. I'm sorry. I'm sure that you are sorry that you're being found out. Exactly. That's what she's sad about. That's what she's crying about. It's not that she feels bad about the things that Beck went through, because she'd be feeling this way before Beck was making these videos. If she truly felt sorry, if she truly felt remorseful for the relationship, it wouldn't have taken Beck starting to tell their story for her to feel those things. She feels remorseful and sad and is crying because Amberlynn is being seen for the person that they are on a whole new level. I owe so much to them. Yep, around 25K. Yeah. You're not the victim. You have done so much evil. It's time to admit to some at least. I feel my salty crab senses tingling. Pay them the money you owe. You are so fucking exhausting. I'm exhausted keeping up with this bullshit. You are not the victim. I want to take accountability, followed in 2.1 seconds with, I'm going to move forward by ignoring it. Okay, let's see. I want to go to later. If only mental gymnastics burned calories. Is accountability in the room with us? But you're such an empath, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, Amberlynn claims to be an empath, yet literally is never aware of the emotions and the feelings of other people around her. Like, is always shocked when people talk badly and like say the way that they were feeling. It's always a shock to Amberlynn. 3 a.m. in the morning. Yes. AM means morning. What? Oh, did she say that? ChatGPT would have given a better apology. Her tone is apologetic, but her words are showing her true narcissistic nature. Yeah, like she knows how to put on an act, but the reality is that was 10 minutes of absolutely nothing. She really and truly did not say anything in this video. It's always the same song with you, Amberlynn. You haven't learned anything and you haven't matured. Still didn't apologize. Cut the check. You're showing signs of not showering. Missing a ukulele. This is the funniest thing I've ever witnessed. You're not the victim. Yeah, people are like not fucking with her. I'm like scrolling through to see earlier ones. Okay, we got a few hearts from random people. Okay, we have 2 hearts so far. Let the person with a sin cast the first stone. Okay, okay. I pray you find Jesus. Okay, well, maybe that would help her not be a narcissist. You're handling all of this very well, Amber, no matter what anyone says. As someone who also suffers with mental illness, I give you major props for being the adult in this situation. In what way is she being the adult? She literally abused someone. That has nothing to do with mental illness. I'm sorry. The responses to this person are saying, are you okay? Oh my fucking God, you are so wrong. I worry for you. Completely agree. So being manipulative and gaslighting is being an adult. Excuse me. You're lonely and mean too, huh? Let's see. Okay, it's always the beginning. So I'm at the very beginning of when people commented, and they're always the nice ones. So y'all hold on to your seats. We're gonna read some nice comments. Sometimes I think people just feel the need to talk about others. Got no life. I love you, Amber. Hello, beautiful. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day, and I hope you have a blessed Sunday. Great video. So are they gonna end up back together? What? I am by no means a fan or defender, but honestly, nothing will change. So why even comment so much hate on it? You're expecting perfectly good energy on someone that won't change. Should read the comments, but won't do anything about it. So why bother? Because people are allowed to share their feelings. That's why. Amber, good on you. Hope this apology makes you feel better. What apology? Let's see. Oh, honey, keep your peace protected. You're out here getting slandered and don't deserve it. How is she getting slandered for... Okay. Y'all, there's definitely still babies out here. Begs needs to get a job, stop crashing cars, and get over it. That's an insane statement. That's truly an insane statement. First off, they do have a job. They were working crazy. Like, they were having multiple jobs at a time just trying to make ends meet. So I'm not sure what that's about. Queen, go back to sleep. From hectic to accountability. Choosy game. I'm here too early. Okay, so there was about 15 good comments, and then the rest go into just trashing Amberlynn. So that's good. The majority of her comments are trashing Amberlynn, which I think rightfully so. There's 653 comments, and out of those, there's about 15 that are good. So that seems right to me. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. This was a trash video. Amber, you need professional help. Like, truly and sincerely, you need so much help that is so beyond going on an online therapy session. And unfortunately, I don't think that will ever happen. So I think we're gonna watch her demise as she takes more and more people down with her. And that's just really sad. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will have, hopefully my next video, I'll be in it. Y'all, I'm lazy, okay? I can admit it. I'm lazy right now. It's 12:42 in the morning. I got class tomorrow, so I'm gonna shut up. But I hope all of you had a great Valentine's Day. I hope all your boos treated you well. You treated them well. If you're not with someone, I hope you treated yourself well. I hope you had fun with your friends or yourself. I hope you all had a great weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!